If you're looking for a brand new luxury condo in the heart of Philadelphia, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to be taking a deep dive exploring Philadelphia's 3 newest luxury and modern condo buildings. We'll see everything from high-rise luxury living to the smaller scale, more boutique luxury living right here in Center City, Philadelphia. You don't want to miss the amenities section where we explore the lifestyle of luxury condo living, so stay tuned for more. Hey everyone, this is Chris Fuhrman and this is my channel, Living in Center City, Philadelphia. Welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Now, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn more about what it's like to live and enjoy Center City, Philadelphia, make sure to go below and click that subscribe button, click that notification bell right next to it so you're notified each and every time we put out a brand new video. We actually get a lot of folks that are reaching out to us looking to relocate to the Center City, Philly area, and we love helping them out on their journey. So if you're thinking about making a move, have any questions about the market, particular neighborhoods, particular condo buildings like we're talking about today, really anything at all, even to the street nuance level, we would love to help answer any questions that you have. So just send us a quick email. All of our contact info is below. We'd love to help out. This is what we do day in and day out. All right, let's dive into the video. Let's talk about the Philadelphia luxury real estate market real quick. While the luxury condo market here in Philly is nothing like New York City or Miami, for example, it certainly has stepped up its game as of late, and there's an appetite for the ultra-luxury price point here in Center City. The city has certainly come a long way in the last several decades, and there's a lot more demand here to move into the Center City area, and therefore more money coming into the area. We're also seeing folks move here from other higher cost of living areas, kind of obvious probably, New York City, DC, and elsewhere, and folks coming in from these areas usually have a larger budget, especially if they're selling a home that they've owned in those markets for some time. So all of this is leading to a relatively healthy luxury market in the downtown Philly area. And before we dive in, let me say that if you want a luxury home in Center City, but these price points aren't in your budget, don't worry, I got you covered. Just send me a quick email, all my contact info is below, and I'll send you my luxury condo guide, which will give you some good recommendations. There are so many great buildings in the city, and all of them have varying price points and of course amenities and differences all throughout. It's really a lot to compare. I'll tell you my best value luxury condo as well in that document. Now let's dive in to the 3 newest luxury buildings in the city. We'll start with the Laurel, as this is located in Rittenhouse Square, which is probably the most well-known area of the city. Not necessarily the best, just depends on your perspective. Welcome to the Laurel, the pinnacle of luxury living. The Laurel was developed on one of the last pieces of available real estate on Rittenhouse Square, and will probably be the last opportunity for something brand new on the square from the ground up for really decades to come, if ever. So if you want to be on the square, and if you want brand new, and you want luxury, you can just stop watching and choose the Laurel. However, I think that you want to consider more of my perspective as we go along before deciding. Now, if you aren't too familiar with the Rittenhouse Square area, it's one of the most expensive and vibrant neighborhoods in Philadelphia. There's going to be a plethora of restaurants, bars, nightlife, cafes, coffee shops, and high-end retail in this area. So again, to have a brand new building built on Rittenhouse Square is really something special and not again going to be repeated for decades, if ever, to come. So purchasing in this new building, while the opportunity exists, will potentially be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Laurel is a high-rise condominium rising 48 stories in the air. Floors 3 through 25 are apartments, and floors 26 through 48 are exclusive for the condos, and there are 65 condo units. There is, of course, a separate entrance for the condo owners. Every floor plan for the condos here includes spacious corner units, providing breathtaking panoramic views of both the city or of Rittenhouse Square, depending on the unit and, of course, what side of the building you're on. Now, if you have a penthouse, you get all the views. There are 2 and 3 bedroom units with a variety of floor plans to choose from here. Some of these floor plans will allow you to design a significant amount of the interior space, and others are going to be fully finished out, really just depending on the square footage and price point, things like that. If you have any questions, just reach out, send me an email, love to help you out. The top 3 floors, specifically 46 through the top 48, are adorned with luxurious full-floor penthouses, setting really new standards for luxury living here in Philadelphia. The penthouses are all fully customizable, enabling homeowners to tailor the interiors to suit their desires while enjoying uninterrupted 360 views of the city. It's really a spectacular view. And as of the time of this recording, in April of 2024, there are still penthouses available. Pricing here at the Laurel starts in the high 2 millions and really quickly escalates much higher from there. The most expensive unit is currently listed for around $25 million. That's of course going to be a penthouse unit. For the second new luxury condo building, let's turn our attention to the Art House, as it's most similar to the Laurel in the sense that they're both high-rise buildings and essentially the same height. And in case you're wondering, I'll compare each building amenities later in this video. Now, although the Laurel and the Art House are the same height essentially, the Art House doesn't have any renters in the building and naturally has more condo units. This is the first of many differences between the buildings. The Art House is about a half a mile east of the Laurel, right along Broad Street, which is directly across from the Kimmel Center. The neighborhood here is called the Avenue of the Arts, and the vibe is a little bit different than Rittenhouse. It's an exciting area with lots of nightlife, lots of restaurants, and lots of culture, and the art scene is here. Being in this area, you actually have the best of all the dining scenes around. You could walk to, let's say, Park Restaurant, so on Rittenhouse Square in about 10 minutes from the Art House. You could, of course, enjoy any of the restaurants on Broad Street, which again is the street that the Art House is on, Broad Street. That's the one that goes right into City Hall. And you could also walk easily to a lot of the establishments along 13th or 12th Street, like Eldez and a lot of the famous restaurants that are in that area. And in case you want to learn more about the Avenue of the Arts section, neighborhood in Philadelphia, I'll link my video on that right below in the description so you can take a look at it afterwards. The exterior of both the Laurel and the Art House are glass. They're glass buildings. My personal opinion is that the exterior of the Art House looks nicer than the Laurel. And one user on Reddit agrees with me when they said about the Laurel, I was excited for this, but the exterior is so ugly. It looks like a generic square office building right in the middle of what's supposed to be the most beautiful public square. From far away, it looks like a concrete monolith. Art House on Broad Street is so much cleaner looking. Now, the interior of the Laurel is great. My comment and this user's were merely commenting on the exterior of the building. So, I think the Art House looks a little bit nicer on the outside, actually in the inside as well, which we'll get to later. There are 2 and 3 bedroom condos at the Art House, and there are 3 and 4 bedroom penthouses on the top levels of the Art House. Each of the units that is not a penthouse here still has a great view, as they're all corner units, just like at the Laurel. Both buildings only do corner units. So there are 107 units here at the Art House. They all have balconies with wind protection, which is a very nice feature for this particular building. The inside looks fabulous, again, at both the Laurel and the Art House, but I am partial to the aesthetic at the Art House. Here is the Art House. Pricing at the Art House starts in the high 1 million range and quickly goes up from there. And real quick, if you found this video helpful thus far, it would mean the world to me if you wouldn't mind going below and clicking that like button so that YouTube knows I'm putting out some helpful content. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Now let's turn our attention to 2100 Hamilton, which is more of a boutique luxury condo building in a very different location in both the Art House and the Laurel. 2100 Hamilton is located in the Logan Square neighborhood of Center City, Philly, but most would probably call this area actually the Art Museum area. This area is a bit removed from the hustle and bustle of the downtown Center City, the heart of, let's say, Rittenhouse or City Hall area. If you love the arts and culture, this really could be a great location for you. Again, this building and location is not for everyone. It's aiming at a very specific audience. You really have to want to be a little further for the major hustle and bustle of Rittenhouse, but still have some convenient amenities. All right, let's talk about the building and the condos. Unlike the Art House and the Laurel, 2100 Hamilton is only a mid-rise building with only 10 stories and 27 condos, so very different scale. There are 2 and 3 bedroom condos, and there's a penthouse as well. These will all range from about 1,800 square foot to probably about 5,400 for the penthouse, somewhere in that square foot range. All very high end, luxury and beautiful, each with an outdoor terrace connected. Pricing at 2100 Hamilton starts in the $2 million range and really just goes up from there relatively quickly. However, most units available are north of $3 million. And at the time of this recording, in April of 2024, the penthouse is currently listed for somewhere around $16 million. Before we compare and contrast some of the amazing building amenities, and I give you my opinion on the buildings, as much as I love making these videos, I love helping people relocate to the Center City Philly area even more. So if you're remotely considering moving here in the next few months, or really even the next few years, it's not too early to start getting actionable information. So go ahead and send me an email to chris@meetchris.com and let me know what you're thinking about, what you're looking for, what your price point is. Even if you're not fully sure, just send me an email. Love to connect and keep you up to date on what's going on in the Center City Philly area. Let's now discuss the amenities of these 3 luxurious condo buildings. Now, of course, each building is going to have luxury amenities that you would typically expect, like a front desk staff, parking, fitness center, a pool, meeting room, a built-in car, private driver service, things like that. But let's go into the minutiae here. 2100 Hamilton has the smallest pool and fitness center, probably because it's only 27 units here, so 27 owners, compared to the 2 high-rises. The pool at the Art House is probably the nicest and the biggest in the city at 75 feet in length. However, the Laurel does have 2 pools, one indoor pool exclusively for the owners, and then one outdoor pool that is shared with the tenants, the renters, in the building. The fitness center at 2100 Hamilton is honestly underwhelming, but again, it's a smaller building. The fitness center at the Art House is probably the best of the 3, unless you factor in the tenant fitness center, so the one for the renters at the Laurel. So because it's, again, the Laurel's a mixed building, the first 25 or so floors, renters, and then the rest above that, owners. The renters have their own fitness center, pool, etc., but the owners have access to the tenants, basically everything. So if you're factoring in both of those fitness centers for the owners and the renters, then the owners of the Laurel condo probably have a better option because they got 2 fitness centers, 2 yoga rooms, so on and so forth. And I realize that not everyone cares about a pool or a fitness center, but hopefully this is helpful to some of you out there. So as far as amenities go, 2100 Hamilton probably has the least, in my opinion. However, their backyard oasis is pretty neat and has some awesome views as well. You have to decide, again, what is most important to you as far as what amenities you're looking for. While we're on the fitness trend here, both the Laurel and the Art House have saunas and steam rooms. 2100 Hamilton has neither. Each of the 3 buildings has areas for parties, get-togethers, etc. 2100 Hamilton and the Laurel essentially only have 2 spaces for hosting. Each has a boardroom or meeting room, and each has an area for hosting larger gatherings. The Laurel has their boardroom for smaller functions, and then their lounge or club room with terrace overlooking Rittenhouse Square for larger gatherings with a catering kitchen, bar, and all. It's really a beautiful room. 2100 Hamilton also has a boardroom, slightly smaller than the Laurel's. 2100 Hamilton's community room for larger gatherings is in the lobby area connecting to their outdoor space, which has floor-to-ceiling retractable walls to make the inside and the outside one seamless party, which is a pretty neat feature. Since this area is in the lobby, it won't be 100% private, but again, there's only 27 owners in the building, so it's relatively private. On the other hand, the Art House has the most reservable meeting space. They have a boardroom just like the other two buildings, probably the largest boardroom of the three buildings. And this space doesn't just have to be for work meetings. You could use it for private dinner functions or what have you. And for larger gatherings, you could use either the Art House's indoor cafe and club room, which connect to their amazing outdoor space, or the banquet hall that overlooks the Kimmel Center. And there are a few other spaces that we'll talk about at the Art House a little bit later in the video. And pets are allowed in each building, and as usual, in mid to high rise buildings, there are pet restrictions, typically weight and breed limits for dogs, and typically on the number of cats that you're allowed. And naturally, all three buildings have parking on site. And as mentioned earlier, each of these buildings has a private car and driver service. All right, let's talk about some of those other reservable rooms that we talked about earlier at the Art House for get-togethers, etc. So let's shift our focus to the Art House for a minute here. Out of the three buildings we are discussing, the Art House is the most amenity-rich building. In fact, I think it's the most amenity-rich building in all of the city. And let me show you why. Some of the unique features in this building in particular are a plethora of outdoor spaces, including a first-of-its-kind greenhouse on the roof deck for growing plants in or just sitting to enjoy the oasis there. Sit inside, read a book, enjoy that peaceful experience. Or sit by the reflecting pond and enjoy a spring morning, or enjoy a cool fall night sitting by one of the fire pits. There's also a sun deck where you can lounge out and soak up some sun and get your natural vitamin D, or enjoy taking a yoga class on the outdoor lawn. As mentioned earlier, the Art House also has a fairly equipped fitness center and 75-foot pool. So in case it's not obvious, there is a health and wellness theme here to the amenities at the Art House. One of the other unique amenities at the Art House is the dog run on the roof deck. This is one of only two secure buildings in all of Center City that you have a dog run. One of the other buildings has a dog run, and there's also a gated community that has a secure area. But aside from those, there's really nothing else for your pets inside. So everything else, you have to go outside the building into the neighborhood, which isn't necessarily a problem, but for some people that want the extra security at 1 a.m. if your dog's gotta go, it's a nice feature to be inside of the building or the community to take care of your dog's needs. In addition, there is a beauty salon where you can bring in your own hairstylist or nail stylist to take care of your needs. There's also a club room to play poker or to catch the game. And there's also a library to enjoy some peaceful reading. So if you won't be leaving the building that much, the Art House may be your best bet due to the ample amenities and the outdoor spaces here in particular. Part of health and longevity is being able to enjoy some outdoor space, to enjoy some peace and tranquility and zenful rest. And in case you're wondering, the condo fees in all these buildings are essentially the same per square foot, negligible differences in my opinion. So you aren't necessarily paying more to get nicer amenities or more amenities at the Art House. And honestly, even if you think you may not use the amenities in particular that I explained, at least not that regularly, you still have them when you need them, when you want them. All in all, lovely amenities at each building. You'll have to decide what amenities are important to your needs and wants. Also, all three of these buildings come with a 10-year tax abatement, so your taxes are going to be significantly lower for 10 years. Now let's compare the buildings a little bit more. As mentioned, they're all great options for the luxury market here. And I'm going to generalize and make some stereotypes here, so don't be offended, but just going to help you kind of understand where the buildings are positioned. If you're from the main line in the Philly suburbs and like that vibe, you know, kind of like upper class, send your kids to prep school, private school kind of vibe, then the Laurel is probably a great fit for you. If you're a bit more down to earth, but still appreciate luxury, nice amenities, then the Art House is a good fit for you. And if you're more of a private person, an introverted person, or just want to be in a more suburban feel, 2100 Hamilton could be a great fit for you. Now I could go on and on, but just send me an email to chris@mechris.com if you have any questions about the different buildings, the nuances here, etc. If you want to learn more about each building, you can of course watch my individual building tours, and I'll link those all in the description below so you can watch them a little bit later. And if you want a luxury home in Center City, but these price points maybe aren't in your budget, don't worry, I got you covered. Just send me a quick email to chris@meetchris.com and I'll send you over my luxury condo guide, which will give you some good recommendations. There are really so many great options in the city, all at varying price points, and of course different amenities, different features of the building. And I'll also tell you what my best value luxury condo is in the city. And click here if you want to see a full walkthrough of a gorgeous condo building at the Art House.